to my summer social, where today we'll be diving into how to get started on Snapchat right here within Snapchat. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is get started by thinking about your username. Now, one of the reasons you want to consider this carefully is because once you have created it, you cannot go back and change it. So one of the things that you might want to consider is how you brand yourself across your other social media platforms. So if you've already got a Twitter or an Instagram handle, then that's probably what you should be using on Snapchat as well, just to keep your brand consistent. If you've never thought about what kind of brand you have, or you've never really thought about that consistency across social media platforms, now would be a great time to start. So there's two ways in which Snapchat shares your username. One is by the actual words that you've used for your name, and the other is by Snapcode. And to get your Snapcode sorted out, what we're going to do is go ahead and tap on this little ghost icon right up over here. Great, so now you're on the screen where you can see what is my snap code, which is sort of just this like yellow box with these little dots over it, sort of like a QR code and some video of me within the QR code. And people can save and scan these to connect with you. So to create yours, what you're gonna do is go ahead and tap on the snap code, and it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. Now, when you're ready, go ahead and tap the camera button, but don't pause after the first photo. It's going to flash a few times, and it's going to sort of stitch all those little pictures together to create this quick little video for you. So what are you waiting for? Get snapping. Wonderful. Now that your snap code has been created, it is now ready to be downloaded. So if you look up at the top right, you'll see an icon to export your snap code as either a photo or a video. Now, one of the great ways to let people know that you're on Snapchat is by making this image your profile picture on your other social media platforms. All people have to do is go ahead and screenshot, and then they can come into Snapchat to add by Snapcode. So what does that mean? That means if I come over here and add friends, one of the things that you'll see I am able to do is add by Snapcode. So few different ways in which you can go ahead and add friends, and it could be now that maybe you're remembering all the people you know or followed who have their profile picture as their snap code and you always wondered what those dots were. Well, now you know. So if you do have some of those people, now's a great time to go ahead and screenshot some, and when you're ready, come back, tap add by Snapcode, your photo library will appear, and all you have to do is snap on those images and they will get scanned and added right into your Snapchat friends list. I'll also have a few snap codes for you to go ahead and add in to get you started with following some who I think are some really great snappers. All right, so if we go ahead and we go back, now that we're on this screen, one of the things I want to do is customize your settings. So up at the top right, we have our little settings icon. So if we go ahead and we tap on that, there's a lot of different settings that you can customize, but there are two in particular that I do want to be able to point out. So if we scroll down just a little bit until we see additional services, we're going to go ahead and tap on Manage. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you have both filters and travel mode turned on. One of the great things about Snapchat is that you can sort of really get creative with adding geo filters to your stories and your video. So you're going to want to make sure you have your filters turned on. And the second one is travel mode. One of the things that Snapchat can do is really eat up your battery. And so once you start adding in and you've got quite a few friends in there, it will auto download their stories. And so it takes up a lot of battery. So if you want to conserve your battery, go ahead and turn travel mode on. That way you'll be able to self-select which stories you do and do not want to download. All right, that's it. So let's go ahead and head back over here. If you see that little arrow at the bottom center, go ahead and swipe up, and we will get back to our regular interface. So let me go ahead and talk just a little bit about what some of these tools do. So up at the top left, one of the things that you have is the ability to turn your flash on and off. We already took a look at what the little ghost can do with your settings and adding friends and so on. Up at the top right, you have the little smiley face with the arrows around it, and that is so that you can decide whether you want your camera to be front facing the way it is right now, or if you want it to be rear facing, and then you can capture wherever the location is that you are in. Now, down at the bottom left, what you'll see is a little chat icon so that you can actually message people directly from within Snapchat as well. Obviously, over in the middle, we have our camera icon. So if I go ahead and I just tap it once, it'll go ahead and it will take a picture of me. And if I actually hold that circle down, you'll see this little red bar starting to move in the circular form, which was telling me that I have 10 seconds to go ahead and shoot some video. And at the bottom right, we have the little purple circle with some like 3 white dots in there. And what that will do is allow us to see both the stories that come from news sources and stories that come from our friends as well. All right, so to see how to send photos and videos, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quick photo. And one of the things that you'll see now happen to my screen are a couple things. So the interface has now changed. Up at the top left, we have the X, and if I tap it, I would be able to delete my snap and go ahead and take a new one. The next, if we move over to the right, I have a little paper note type icon, and if I tap this, one of the things you'll see are all these different emojis that I can actually use and bring into my snap. Next, we've got the text tool, so I can actually begin typing into here to be able to add some words to my text. And then over here on the right, I've got this little pencil icon with the color bar to actually change the colors that are within there. Now, down at the bottom left, you'll see I've got a little sort of alarm clock that says a 3, and if I tap that, you'll see that I can choose how long I want people to be able to view my snap for. Next over to that, we have a little download icon. If I tap on that, it will go ahead and save the image to my camera roll. The third icon here is a shortcut to be able to add a photo or a video directly to your story. So if we tap this, it will sort of highlight and bring up your story options for you. Now, one of the things that you'll notice while we're here is it also says for me the Los Angeles story and the Happy 4th of July story. So one of the other cool things about Snapchat is in addition to creating your own story, you can actually contribute to a geolocations type story. So for example, I am in Los Angeles, so the Los Angeles story is always there for me. And if they select my snap, everyone who's following the Los Angeles story will be able to see it. But let's say we don't want to share it to our story and it's something that we want to send to an individual or a group of people. So what we'll do instead is we'll go ahead and get out of that, and we will go ahead and tap this blue circle right over here with the little white arrow. And now we get a list of people that we can individually send things to. So now I can definitely put things in my story. I can even put it in the Los Angeles story, the 4th of July story. And what I can do is also then go ahead and select as many or as few people as I want to be able to send this snap to. And that's it. That is how you send a photo or a video. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to keep in mind is that your Snap stories will only last for 24 hours. So that download key is critical. One of the things that you can also do with Snapchat that makes it really fun is that once you have a series of photos and videos in your Snap story, if we go ahead and we swipe right, you'll see where it says My Story, there's these 3 dots there. If I go ahead and I tap that, one of the things that I can now see is a little download icon. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it is that you actually go ahead and take a picture and save it. So Snapchat recently introduced something called Memories. And with Memories, it works a little bit differently when you want to go ahead and save your photos and your videos to your camera roll. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. We're going to go ahead and take a picture. This right here is a picture of one of the Extraordinaire cards. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you know I love that game. And if you haven't checked it out, go check out and search The Extraordinaires. It's a wonderful game to be able to teach design thinking. But okay, so here we are. One of the things that I can now do is if I tap on this, download icon, it goes ahead and it saves my photo to my Memories. Now, Memories sort of acts as a camera roll within Snapchat. So before, if you used to download something, your photos or your videos would go straight to your photo library. Now they're saved to your Memories, and the way you access the Memories is if we go ahead and we snap out of this photo by pressing the X, you'll notice that right below my camera icon, there's now a smaller icon there as well. If I go ahead and I tap on this, here are all of my Memories, and you can kind of browse through and you can see all the different snaps that you've saved. There's different snaps that are there. It saves, individual stories for you. And you can also access the camera roll from in here as well. So let's say, I took a snap and I want to go ahead and I want to share this now with my other social media channels. I'm going to come down to the bottom over here and tap Edit and Send. And you'll notice now up at the top right, I get this little menu
I'm going to go ahead and tap those three bars on the upper left, and one of my options is to export my snap. So I can also do a few other things here as well. I can move it to a folder called My Eyes Only. And this is sort of here as a protection for people, if you're kind of with your friends and you're going through your Snap library and you don't want somebody to see a certain photo, make sure you just move it to the My Eyes Only. And another thing that you can also do is you can also import older photos that you've taken before inside of Snapchat, or you can import photos in to Snapchat as well and then add them to your story. So a lot of new updates that actually happened right in the middle of me creating this entire Snapchat tutorial. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and export the snap, and then you'll see I have some options here to go ahead and save the image. If this was a video, I would get the option to save the video as well.
One of the cool things that you can then do with that is you can post that video to your other social media platforms. So if you have people who are not on Snapchat, but you still want to share your Snap stories with them, you can upload the video to YouTube or to any of your social media channels and share it out with them. So that's all for me. Join me for my next episode where we'll take a look at some of the hidden features embedded within Snapchat to make some of your stories a little bit more exciting. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.